Hello there, welcome back to newearth.land. I've had a bit of a hiatus from this whole project because I've been ill. I was vegan for 10 years and that led to some health issues which I didn't see coming. Um, and so, 5 years on it, I was all right. The next 5 years, I was in denial. And so now I'm trying out this carnivore diet, and I have to say, so far, it's been absolutely miraculous. But that is for a future video discussion because right now I owe you a bit of an apology because we had some momentum building and then I just stopped everything. And that's in part because I was ill, but also because I've been making a lot of bread. I just made one that was just principally made of egg and what was it? It was basically just made of egg and cheese, and it was disgusting. But that's okay because we're not talking about that either. So we're moving on now to the apology, which is sorry, I've not been making videos, and one, I got censored. Two, if you talk about anything in the year 2021 about health oriented topics, you're going to run into censorship issues. So that's what happened. And I lost my motivation. All the things that I was talking about in terms of the Maslow hierarchy, how we need to be authentic and how we need that to build a platform for your esteem. I lost all of that. And I'm still in the process of recovering from it all, frankly. I mean, it's quite traumatizing what's happened when you realize the true extent of our deception and how consciousness really is the core of the solution that we need to bring this new earth into. And so this is just kind of a quick recap, really, I suppose, um, because we're going to be changing gears. As you'll have seen, I haven't got anywhere, right? After all these videos, well, not many, but after a few years, I've not really got anywhere, and that's because I guess there's only so much you can talk about the sort of reified architectural solution. Um, and what I'm going to do going forward is talk about consciousness. But let's just do a recap. Here's my little title. This is my new setup now. Like this is how I'm going to be doing it. So, what is New Earth? Well, we've gone through it like I say in the past, but I'm going to go through some quick things here. Like let's have a look at what Old Earth is. Is basically like these are some of the aspects, intrinsic aspects of society. I think I can even do highlights and stuff like that. God, this is brilliant. Poverty, we don't want that, do we? Like that's a facet of society that's undeniable. High living costs, no, don't want that. Stress, anxiety, no, thank you. Inequality, like I've said in previous videos, to a large extent, that is it's natural, but the degree to which we're currently experiencing that is coming to us by way of poverty. And so, if we eradicate poverty, we're also simultaneously alleviating inequality. Mental slavery, which is actually what we're experiencing right now in the year 2024, which is also could be said rent slavery, right? We're rent slaves. We're running around in the rat race for the rich. You have the money that we need so that we can basically give it back to the rich again. And it just keeps us on the poverty line, doesn't it? It keeps us on the brink of insanity for the most part. And scarcity, it's the whole system is built on scarcity, um, and that's like a sliding scale between scarcity and abundance. So we want to slide towards abundance, don't we? And we can do that when we decommodify shelter, energy, food, and water, which is what I've been talking about for a long time. Old Earth, the current Earth, is fake. This is a fake society. It's built on fake food, a fake justice system to a large degree, fake political realms, fake education, particularly, which I've talked about at length. Perhaps I'll talk about that again in a near video. And it's all ultimately driven by the fact that we have to pay for it ourselves. We have to pay for the privilege of these things, all of these ailments, right? We are paying for it because it's based on a compulsory taxation. And so, even though that's conceptually sound, and I agree that there should be a pot, there should be a way of funding the things that would benefit society. The execution of that model is clearly not there, is it? And that's undeniable to all you socialists out there. So although it's conceptually sound, and yes, I'm fully on board, what we have to realise is that that's simply not what's happening, and isn't what's been happening for a long, long time. And that's undeniable. So what we have to do is take the bull by its horns and create a new earth. Ta-da! And that's built on true freedom, okay? True being the operative word there, not the fake freedom that we currently have. Um, it's sort of like going into a restaurant and someone saying, well, you can have anything on the menu. You're free to choose what you want to do in this life, in this restaurant. But what they're not realizing is that you're in a Burger King, you're in a KFC, or you're in a McDonald's, or some shoddy one-star restaurant, which is what society is. And you don't have any choice beyond those parameters. You have to have the chicken royale. You have to have whatever it might be, right? And so I'm picking on KFC there, but whatever it is, that's it's going to be unhealthy because you're in a shoddy restaurant, right? And so that's what happens. I remember someone said to me, like, it's the life you choose, Adam. Like, why do you keep coming to this office if it's not what you want to do? It's like, well, if I don't go to this office, I'm only going to go to another office down there, and then because I've already been led down the garden path into the system where I've become an architect, and now it's like, oh, okay, I like architecture, but not that much. Jesus, I don't want to be doing it like 9 till 9 every day for the rest of my fucking life, bar Sunday. I don't want to live for 5 days only to have 2 days free. I mean, that's just insanity. Everyone knows that. So anyway, true freedom, equality, abundance, right? That's what we want to be moving to. This is what New Earth is, to answer the question that I've posed myself. Health is that's a deep one, that. Like, as I've realised, like I just mentioned, like the whole veganism thing and the carnivore, trying this out. So there's some amendments that I've made to the proposal, which you can check out in more detail at newearth.land. For sure, because it's been such a long time since I made the last videos. But wealth, you're going to be wealthy because how much of your money is actually given away in rent? You won't need to do that in New Earth. That money will be spent more so how you actually want to utilize and how you want to live your life. You'll have more money to do what you actually want to truly do. And it will be based around the fact that we will be becoming more mindful. We will be more aware of what's happening, taking place truly on this little planet. And so we will be more sort of proactivated to do something about it. We'll be more concerned about these global affairs and not just wrapped up in our own little worlds constantly. That's largely due to the fact that we have to be for to stay afloat and keep financially stable. And it will be based on a natural way of life. So we'll be turning to our roots, but as I've said, in a futuristic way, utilizing some of the new technologies. And again, it's all because we will have the choice to fund these. So this is crowdsourcing. This is a new model, right? Which is going to be based on choice. Okay. And if I could find the Buckminster Fuller quote, there we go. You never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete, right? So it's not about suddenly overhauling everything, because this is just unrealistic. Like often when people propose these things, they get lost in the kind of hypotheses and the theory and the distant future, and people often think of this as just being blue sky thinking. It's just idealism. But the point is that this will run in parallel, because people start saying things. Well, what happened there? What happened in Cuba, and what happened in Russia, and what happened to what happened in all these revolutions and things like this. But it's like that's not how we are going to be changing society in the long term for the better. And that's simply to run these things in tandem, like use the existing structure as a kind of foundation. I'm speaking infrastructurally here, architecturally. because socially we're going to be creating a new foundation, which is ultimately what New Earth is. But architecturally, we need to start to upgrade our infrastructure, because this is where we're at, isn't it? Like, you've probably seen this one from the site. This is what we're doing. We're running around like sort of headless chickens in the maze, and we can't sort of get our heads above the parapet and go, okay, this is this is not the way that things should be working. Because, as I say, no problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. So we need to elevate our consciousness, and we can only do that when we come together and communicate, the ultimate message, which is that we should be truly free on this planet, and there's no reason why we can't be. And so that's what I want you to experience. That's what I want me to experience. I want everyone to experience true freedom, because they just get so many benefits from that, and they will be more wealthy. They'll be more healthy. They'll have more time, and they'll have more. It would just be a generally more healthy world, won't it? That's what we need. So anyway, I've waffled on too long here. I just wanted to do a quick recap to say that I'm going to get back into the videos, but I'm going to be talking about consciousness. So we're going to be running into themes like spirituality, mindfulness, and metaphysics, philosophy, things that might break your mind a little bit. Because I can't see any other way of gaining traction and getting the exposure that this concept needs, and I feel deserves, because how many people are suffering? How many people are on the poverty line? It doesn't need to stay that way. So, my proposal is that we come together, we reclaim our land, we build co-housing projects that freely provide shelter, energy, food and water as basic human rights. Next time we'll be talking about consciousness and getting the ball rolling there. Hopefully I can generate some momentum from that kind of circle. And until then, have a lovely day.